Fun fact, only 4.5% of the entire global population is currently invested in cryptocurrencies. If you guys needed a sign that you were early to the cryptocurrency markets and the majority of these blue chip projects that are currently building the future infrastructure under which majority of sectors will operate going forward, then this was the piece of information you were looking for. Unfortunately though, for that 4.5% of us that are currently invested in the cryptocurrency markets, majority of us will of course be feeling the pain over the last sort of 2 to 3 months. Majority of it has been a downward trending movement since then. More than $117 million in levered positions across the entire market got blown out recently, with Bitcoin and Ethereum making up the majority of those positions. Over the past 24 hours, Ethereum posted more than $45 million in liquidations, while Bitcoin has also posted roughly 33 million. After that, some other meme coins, Dogecoin 3.3 million, Litecoin 3 million, were the next largest liquidations according to liquidation data pulled from CoinGlass, with more than 92% of all liquidations over the past 12 hours being blown out long positions. And this is of course because majority of people at the moment are really searching or trying to understand where the bottom of these cryptocurrency markets are. Remember, if you cast your minds back, we saw the peak of the previous cycle. I believe it was the end of November / very early December of 2021. So we're effectively 12 months on now from that previous cycle top, and many people are getting really jittery as to where the bottom may be. I do have a previous video on the channel talking about where I personally feel the bottom could be. It could be towards the end of this year, if not very early next year. And for me personally, all revolves around those terminal interest rates that are being set by the Federal Reserve over in the United States. And of course, that is a reactionary sort of contractionary fiscal policy in order to drive down inflationary figures. There is a more detailed video on my channel if you guys want to have a look at that. Unfortunately as well, if we look at the total cryptocurrency market cap, we can currently see we're now as low as 800 billion US dollars. So we've fallen fairly far from that $1 trillion market cap we had seen previously. However, with that being said, my long-term perspective does not change. I've been making these videos now for nearly 12 months. And majority of you guys that have watched, a fair few of them will have heard me say the same thing time and time again. It's about time in the market, not timing the market. And that is exactly the policy and sort of gameplay that I am taking when it comes to cryptocurrency. And the same could be said for majority of investments. I'm here for the long term, be it 2, 3, 4 or 5 year periods. If you wanted to come into the cryptocurrency markets and make a quick buck, then you're probably sorely upset with the decisions that you have made recently. Not only that as well, majority of people get very excited around bull markets in particular because everything is going up. That's of course where we see lots and lots of FOMO or fear of missing out. People will literally remortgage their properties, sort of lever positions really aggressively to make or take advantage of those really positive and very quick upward swings to the top side. However, during these bear markets, a lot of people actually leave cryptocurrency. They get disheartened with the investments they have made. They will sell their positions at a loss, and then they'll repeat the cycle again in 1 or 2 years, however long it takes. When we're back in a bull run, all eyes come back on crypto, and they're then scrambling frantically to build those positions. That is the wrong time to be building those positions. The time to be building those positions is during these bear markets where we have heavily reduced prices due to the lack of people within the ecosystem, the people that are actually believing in what is being built behind the scenes. Now, of course, take that with a pinch of salt. None of that is financial advice. That is personally what I've been doing. I will continue to build my positions, getting ready for that next bull run. And hopefully we will see Hedera's time to shine, along with some other those sort of blue chip projects that we talk about frequently on the channel. Now, I wanted to cover some news as well about Binance. They're coming under some serious fire at the moment, off the back of a CNBC interview that CZ did recently. Binance US has also agreed to acquire assets of bankrupt crypto lender Voyager Digital, which is just over $1 billion. This is off the back of CZ saying that they had a very strong financial position. Not only that though, Mazars has also suspended audits for crypto exchanges, which include Binance, KuCoin, Crypto.com and Bloom, which has been reported by Bloomberg. And again, this is why we are seeing a current run on many of the different exchanges And it's a bit of a stress test as well for a lot of these centralized exchanges. You may have seen floating around on Twitter, which I actually pretty much agree with, is that if we do see Binance or some of these other very large institutions go under these centralized exchanges, it could be a very, very dark day for crypto indeed. Of course, it was terrible losing an exchange like FTX with its sheer scope and size. However, Binance dwarfs the size of majority of those exchanges and currently is one of the last pillars of hope almost for centralized exchanges within the space. Losing something like that would be a terrible, terrible blow to cryptocurrency indeed. At the moment, it appears that Binance is currently keeping up with the number of withdrawals. I think it was around $6 billion of withdrawals have already taken place across Binance, and they do seem to be keeping up, which is upholding their end of what they've been saying, which is that they take being a custodian very seriously, and hopefully that continues to play out and they can continue to maintain and fulfill those withdrawals from customers. And of course, that then builds the confidence back in centralized exchanges and builds the confidence back within the crypto space. Of course, whenever we see these mass scale death spiral events, the likes of Luna, which was obviously somewhat decentralized, and then things like FTX, a centralized exchange, it looks incredibly bad on the cryptocurrency sphere as a whole and will lead to very, very aggressive regulation, which could stifle growth out into the future. Talking about growth though, PayPal is now partnering with crypto wallet Metamask. So two of the industry's top names are working to make cryptocurrencies or buying cryptocurrencies that much easier. CoinDesk has reported that PayPal is working alongside the cryptocurrency wallet Metamask to create a new and more efficient cryptocurrency buying experience. The announcement relays that the two entities are seeking diverse options available to users for the transfer of their digital assets. The two companies revealed the collaboration today through a press release reported by CoinDesk. So PayPal users can now buy crypto, and I think that's been the case for a while, but the partnership between PayPal and Metamask is great news for users who are looking for an easier way to purchase cryptocurrencies, with the partnership creating the intention to support a simpler and more mainstream approach for PayPal users who want to get into the industry. The press release revealed that Metamask developer ConsenSys is set to allow users to select PayPal as a payment option when buying Ethereum within the Metamask platform. So this is great. That means you've still got that non-custodial access of the Metamask wallet. However, you can facilitate those transactions directly on-chain via the use of PayPal balances. And presumably, if you have cards tied to your PayPal account, you can then use those and they'll flow through fully. Moreover, this development integrates what is a seamless transfer of digital assets between the two platforms. The development sports a similar functionality to features already available on popular platforms like Etsy and eBay. Additionally, this replicates the checkout feature that allows customers to purchase using their PayPal account. Conversely, the same will now apply when purchasing cryptocurrency via Metamask. The Metamask product manager, Lorenzo Santos, stated the benefit of this development will be for introducing customers to Web 3.0. With this integration, PayPal will allow our US users to not only buy cryptocurrency seamlessly via Metamask, but will also easily explore Web3 ecosystems. The development is yet another moment of embrace for PayPal and crypto, with the partnership continuing the integration of digital assets that have been the focal point of the financial firm since 2020. So this is good again for exposure of cryptocurrencies, and not only that, lowers the barriers to entry for more sort of normal or sort of regular people, let's say, that are trying to find their way into the cryptocurrency space. There are some quite high barriers to entry when it comes to purchasing cryptocurrency at times, with lots of different regulation depending on the markets you are from. Using well-known apps such as PayPal as a purchase method, the same goes for Metamask as a non-custodial wallet, is a great way to onboard new customers and new capital going forward. Right then, jumping across to Hedera, there is some nice news from the team. So Hedera is ready to bring Web 3.0 to the front end of the conversation at Davos 2023, which is the World Economic Forum meetings. Find us at the Carbon Negative Hedera House, joined by and featuring live demonstrations from the Governing Council members Avery Dennison, DLA Piper, ServiceNow, and SB Group. Stay tuned. So we see there Davos 2023, which is January the 15th to January the 20th. And that is, of course, the World Economic Forum. Now, I see this as being actually quite big news. Of course, we have seen a small or fairly large, I should say, drop off in the transactions per second on the Hedera network recently. Now, of course, I think Mance and some other members of the Hedera/Swirls team did turn around and say, do not be alarmed if those transactions fall off. That was after we enjoyed some very, very high bursts of throughput on the mainnet. Now, of course, that was Avery Dennison, obviously stress testing the last of their contracts that they will be running via the consensus mechanisms over on Hedera Hashgraph. And up until the point of when they go live, we will see these intermittent bursts where they are testing before they fully push the on button. And that was what Mance was referring to when he mentioned those tweets. Actually, it might not have been Mance, it might have been Christian Hasker, if my memory serves me correctly. Now, it's great to see that they'll be talking at Davos at the World Economic Forum with some of those governing council members with large-scale use cases. So, of course, Avery Dennison being one, and interesting as well that it is the carbon negative Hedera house. So I'm sure Avery Dennison will be talking about the billions of transactions they want to process on Hedera Hashgraph, and also how that is carbon negative. You've got DLA Piper as well. You've got ServiceNow sort of tied up as well with the Coupon Bureau, and you've got SB Group. So those are some of those large scale use cases, and them talking at the World Economic Forum is nothing but bullish news in my personal opinion. Hedera Ecosystem Weekday 1 highlight as well is something I wanted to share. So Lehman Baird provides a deep dive on Decentralized Recovery, or DREC, a component of Web3 essential for the mass adoption of DLT by providing a safety net for lost or stolen assets, currently being worked on by Swirls Labs. So each helper, so this is called Decentralized Recovery, and this could be quite a game changer / breakthrough, particularly if Hedera can nail this first. Each helper gets a quarter of the secret share. You can add or subtract helpers. Others get new shares. You can verify once a day and then helper as a service. So you have a user and then you can have multiple different helpers. And this can be a way in order to retrieve stolen assets or provide a safety net for some of those stolen assets. And this is, of course, a big narrative at the moment in the cryptocurrency space. Many people are very wary, and so they should be, of losing all of their funds if their accounts get compromised or they interact with a malicious decentralized application. So something like this form of decentralized recovery could be a very useful tool going forward out into the future. And again, like I said, if Hedera can nail this first, this is another quiver in the bow of Hedera Hashgraph, and one of the reasons why I believe it will become one of the top performing DLT networks that currently exist. I still personally believe this is a top 10 project, if not a top 5 project, with a ton of potential going out into the future. Not only that as well, we've been smashing some records recently when it comes to social engagement. So coin of the day on the 19th of December, we can see the Hedera Hbar market cap just over $1 billion. Social engagements and social mentions slightly down, but Hedera is the most used sustainable enterprise grade public network for the decentralized economy that allows individuals and businesses to create powerful decentralized applications. It's designed to be fairer, more efficient system that eliminates some of the limitations that older blockchain-based platforms face, such as slow performance and instability. And of course, these figures are coming from Lunar Crush. It's great to see that the social activity is still performing well for Hedera. It's one thing that can definitely be said about Hedera Hashgraph is that we've continued, or the team, Hedera themselves and Swirls, have continued developing throughout this bear market, which of course has been going on for around 12 months at this point. The same cannot be said for the majority of other chains. In fact, if I flick across to my Twitter, I posted a couple of tweets yesterday. Unfortunately, Twitter seems to be kind of a bit screwy for me now. My reach has massively dropped off ever since Elon took over and made some major changes. But I did post out the other day saying, is this the death of Solana's DeFi ecosystem happening in real time? The TVL has just been flipped by a chain that I've never even heard of. So we can see there Solana's total value locked has now moved down into 11th place, being surpassed by a chain called Mixin, which is something that I've never even heard of before. And of course, those statistics can be checked via DeFi Llama. Conversely, Hedera's TVL has just continued increasing as we have more and more decentralized exchanges and decentralized applications coming online. You've got Hbar Suite, which look to be gearing up for a launch sometime in the near future. And of course, they're running off smart nodes, which take advantage of the Hedera consensus and token services. And of course, you've got SaucerSwap, which is again leveraging that Ethereum virtual machine via smart contracts, which has been doing incredibly well recently. Something else I wanted to point out as well was the last major Bitcoin is dead article was published by the European Central Bank on the 30th of November 2022. 467th time lucky, I guess. Again, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, to me, this is all still macro fallout. Markets are still waiting for terminal interest rates. And of course, talk about, beating on a guy that's already fallen down. The crypto markets are in a pretty bad shape at the moment. Same can be said for equities markets. And then you've got other actors getting flushed out, such as FTX. And then we've got the Binance FUD that's currently taking place at the moment. But I just wanted to point this out. The amount of times over the past since Bitcoin's inception, and we're talking here in the literal sense because Bitcoin is compared realistically as or represents the crypto market in some people's eyes. Bitcoin has died 467 times according to the obituaries that have been submitted to this particular website. And you can see that has done nothing to curb the appeal of Bitcoin's capital appreciation over time. And the same could be said for the cryptocurrency markets and the majority of these projects that are being built behind the scenes. I wanted to wrap this video up though, again, taking a look at the coin perspective. So if we look at Hedera's current market cap, and let's compare it to something like XRP, which is within the top 5. I think it's still within the top 5. It's not within the top 5, it's within the top 7 in terms of market cap. If Hedera had XRP's market cap of 17.2 billion, and of course these are drastically reduced figures because of the amount of capital outflows from the cryptocurrency market we have seen, one HBAR would be worth just shy of 70 cents, which is of course a 15x upside. That puts it back around its previous all-time highs, maybe just north of its previous all-time highs. So you can start seeing how building now during these very suppressed prices can pay dividends into the long term, particularly if Hedera nails a lot of their key objectives, which I believe they will do. And those large scale use cases, those enterprise use cases, which will be processing billions of transactions, could definitely help it see through those visions. Anyway, guys, if you did enjoy this video, please drop a comment for engagement. Also like the video, make sure you are subscribed. And if you are subscribed, have that notification bell on. At the moment, due to the lack of views across different elements of social media, because of course cryptocurrency is not performing too well, majority of my videos do not seem to be getting pushed across to subscribers feeds and also new viewer feeds. So I do appreciate any kind of shares or interactions on these videos, as it does help to drive forward that retention. Until the next one, I'll catch you then. Cheers.